Hi, this is CJ with CJatCompRCC.com, and in this series of videos I'm going to be assembling the 3Racing Sakura Ultimate Touring Car. Now we're going to move on to the rear suspension. I spared you showing you video where I go ahead and cut all these pieces out off of the molding trees. Now, these bearings have been soaking for a while, so just wiping off the excess. And this process is going to finish off using the last of that, all of that hardware that was in that big bag. I'm going to start by threading these into the outer hole. I'm going to thread them a good third to almost 4/5 of the way in, because it's the plastic that you worry about. That's the weakest part, not the metal ball that's going to thread in on top of this metal set screw. So you want to make sure that set screw is deep enough in there that it's not going to be a problem. Okay, that's about equal. So I'm going to put a spacer on there, a little bit of Loctite. Thread that on, and then tighten it down. The reason I'm using needle nose on these is because the part of this that is a bolt is so thin that socket driver is not going to be very helpful for that. Push the bearings in on either side. These are the 4 bearings that are all the same size. This is one of the nice features of this kit, is these little pucks. I'm not sure if that's trademarked or not. There's a couple of companies I think that are using them. MIP has various kits out as an upgrade for existing kits. The outdrives, as you can see here, are larger. The slots in them are larger, and instead of just having the little pins of the dog bone riding in and out on those, sometimes these can snap or they can damage the outdrives. They use this little plastic puck, and you have to kind of carefully snap this in. You don't want to break it. It's definitely tight fit there. And so instead of the pin on the dog bone directly sliding against the metal on metal, you've got this little plastic puck, and that slides in and out of the outdrive, so that should be a smoother and quieter system. And incidentally, these rear axles, the joints are everything. These are all pre-assembled, and they're very smooth. They're much smoother than a universal joint, and certainly a lot smoother and far more reliable than having a dog bone at either side. This is one of the things that tends to differentiate the higher end kits. And 3Racing has done a very nice job putting this all together. And there we go. The other puck is snapped on, and this plastic, I was worried about this when I read the instructions, that these might not snap on without, worrying about possibly breaking them, but the plastic seems to be quite flexible, and it wasn't a problem at all. So just work it on smoothly when you assemble those. That's as far as that goes. And then you want to put the puck with the closed part of the puck facing to the rear. So guide that in, and then you can put the rear hub in place. Now that hub seems to be fitting very tightly, and there may be a little extra material here. There may be a little flashing. Yeah, I think that's something I'm going to give a little attention. Use some sandpaper. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and massage these little spots here and on either side here until they fit in. Say this one also. You don't want to, you want it to move smoothly, but because you don't want play at the same time, you don't want it to be tight so that it sticks, because then the suspension won't move smoothly. I just massaged these areas a little bit, a little 600 grit sandpaper. There was a little bit of flashing, and they slide in, and there's going to be a nice smooth action. You don't want to make anything loose. You don't want any play. You just want the thing to fit in there and be able to move smoothly. You don't want it to bind at all. Now, you need to pay attention to the markings on both of these. This one says R2, L2. That means right-hand side, 2 degrees of toe. There's a little bit of toe built into these, so if you switch them, you're going to tow the car out, and you don't want that. You want a little bit of toe in that helps the car track straight. So we go ahead, we take our axles, we line up our puck so it's going in the right direction, and slowly slide that puck into the drive shaft, the out drives. It is a little hard to do with large fingers because of the positioning of the sway bar. And see, this is an example where the rotating type of stand does not work at your best behalf. Having the rotating stand can be really helpful when you want to go forward to back and work on the other side of the car, but there are also times when the static type work better. If you are currently shopping for said item, you might want to see if you can find some inexpensive ones and get one of each, because there are times when you're going to want one, and there's times when the other is far more helpful. And I find that during assemblies like this, it certainly is easier not to have the car rotating away from you. So there we go. Get my little king pins over here, hinge pins. Slide that through. And just like the front ones, these have a little groove in them. The hinge action is going to be on the A-arm, and the pin will be held static here. So we're going to tighten down this little set screw until we make contact. That puck just moves marvelously smoothly. That just glides in and out. It's really nice that they added those. I mentioned earlier the out drives on this differential. Those are aluminum. They're super light. They're really well machined. There's definitely a lot of quality here. And now it's time to snap on the turnbuckles. Wait, I was about to put that on the wrong way. Want to have the marks all facing to the left, with the exception of the steers, because you want these to be on the outside so you can have the wrench have a little more range of motion. As you can see, we've got very nicely functioning rear suspension. Our sway bar is doing exactly what we want it to do. Everything moves with very little effort. There's no stiction. I've jumped ahead of directions just a little bit, opened bag number 9, and gotten out the axle pins and the little wheel hexes here. Just wanted to show you. They're even marked with the size. It's 4 millimeters. This is one of the many very nice features that come on this kit. So I thought I'd go ahead and put these on now because I didn't want the front hubs dropping in and out. And that's it. That's how they go on.